Hey everyone, Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding. So, as you can see behind me, the ship is really starting to kind of take shape. We got the bowsprit on, that happens in this episode, and we do the fencing along the front here. So I'm not going to really zoom into that. I'll let you watch that in the video. You'll be able to see it as we go. This video, like I said, mostly bowsprit and that front area. I also start the foremast in it. First couple minutes of the video, I'm a little grumpy, so I do apologize for that. I had found out for sure that my ankle was broken, so that happened to be the day that I was filming that first section of the video. So wasn't quite my normal self, but I have recovered and bounced back, and I'm going to make the best of it because it's going to give me a whole lot of time to work on the ships. Anyway, so I think that's about it, so let's get started. Alright, so I've been doing more with the carronades. Got another, I don't know, one done, so it's getting there slowly. Then I also went ahead and put the front of the bow together. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to start the bowsprit. So that's what this video is going to be about. Yeah, pretty happy with that. I am knocking gun covers off, so I'm gonna have to re-glue a couple of them, but not too big of a deal. So let me get some parts quick, and we're gonna get started. Okay, so here are most of my pieces for the bowsprit. I just used my Posca pen to do the black on here. That came out fine. Everything was pre-painted. However, in looking at real pictures of the ship, the extension part that goes out on the front here is actually brown. So I'm going to repaint that. It's the same brown that we were using on the yard arms and all the other wood throughout so far. Wish I had seen that first, but I did not, so here we are. So we're going to get that repainted quick and start putting it together. I'm not going to actually mount it on the ship. I'm going to try to rig what I can rig on it beforehand, just so that just so I have as much done as possible when it comes time to actually attach it. But with still doing the carronades, I got a lot of movement happening with the hull, so I just don't think it's smart to put the mast or the bowsprit on, especially the bowsprit, because that's going to add probably about a foot of length onto the end of this. So yeah, we're just going to get this painted up. I'm probably going to actually just paint the front half, glue it into here, and then I'll get the upper end once I get it on there. That way I can use the this piece to kind of hold it as I'm going here. So I just really want to get the end painted up so that it's pretty decent. And then we'll get it glued in once it sets for a couple minutes. All right. There we go. So I'm gonna let that sit to dry. And I'm gonna do the end of this one quick. Now, I also was looking at some of the rigging, and like I said, some attaches to the ship, obviously, and some kind of comes off of the yard arm that goes on the front there, so we'll probably end up rigging that up. This video will not just be about the bowsprit, so we'll probably end up doing some of the fence barricade that goes along the side of the ship on the railing. The directions call for you just to run 3 strings on it. I am not doing that. I'm actually using a mesh netting that I found, and I'll dye it black or paint it black. Not sure which way I'm going yet, but basically whichever way doesn't fill in the holes on it. But I'll show you that later on in the video. So, all right, we're gonna let that dry for a minute and I will be right back. All right, so while we were gone here, I went ahead and glued this on. It calls for a medium rope then to do the lash around it for the yard, and we're basically going to just kind of do the same thing we did with the other ones up on the bow. And just double checking one thing. Nope, okay, so I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. So it actually doesn't go crisscross, it goes up and down. So I'm going to tie my knot over here. And then we're just gonna do some back and forth lashing to get that on. And that might sound a little grumpy, so I went to the orthopedic surgeon today after my ankle injury, and it did turn out that I broke it. So I broke my ankle in two spots. Luckily it was a straight break. So he said that usually when people have this sort of injury, it actually shatters, and I was extremely lucky. So that part's good. I am now wearing a hard cast for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and today is June 1st. So it definitely kind of has killed my summer plans. But I guess on the bright side, at least I have this to kind of keep me occupied, because if I didn't have ships that I could work on, and I can't work on cars, I don't know what I would do with myself. So yeah, a little bummed out, but it'll be all right. And I guess if nothing else, it'll make this build go probably significantly quicker. I'm still working though, so I'm still doing my normal daily job, but kind of hobbling there too. But it is what it is. I'll get through it. So we're gonna loop this around a couple times here, and we're gonna come across and do the same thing here. And this is kind of just for show, so it's not for structure, so I don't have to go crazy with these, but I want to get it enough so that it looks the part, that it is actually holding this big heavy piece of wood on there. Okay. And I think that'll do it. So, let me cut. All right, I'm going to kind of loop through here. Okay. I'm going to loop through down here, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. I didn't like where I was looping it. Okay, come on. There we go. Alright, so as you can see on the bottom, it got the effect that I was looking for. You can move the ropes a little bit there to kind of make it look a little better. But that will work. And I'm going to do one more loop up here with one of these. Maybe not. I think I can actually, yeah, that'll work. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself. I'm talking to you, the viewer, but to myself at the same time. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, gonna hit it with just a touch of the LCA glue to hold it in. All right, lovely. Okay, so there we go with that. Now let me move this. And where are my little nippers at? Oh, I mentioned that I was going to show you the netting. So that is the netting I'm using. This will be around the fencing on the top of the bow. So once I get it black, I'll kind of show you that as we go. But I'm probably just going to use a standard fabric dye. I believe I bought that stuff at Walmart. I use that for HO gauge train fencing. So obviously, if you watched the last video, you probably saw the background of my little HO set that I've been working on for a little while. All right, so one thing when gluing this, that there I had to cut because it's misshaped from that. So in order to make it fit, you have to change it to what it's supposed to be. I don't know if that was just a difference in the different castings over the years or what caused that, but they're clearly cast different and will not fit unless you correct it. So just an FYI. All right, touch of glue. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take our extension parts. I don't know if they're not called extension parts. They're called what are they? The 137, the Dolphin Striker and the Jib Boom. No, I'm sorry. The Jib Boom and the Flying Jib Boom. So there you go. That's what they're called. Oh, good. Paint was still wet. Beautiful. So I guess we're repainting that. Not a big deal. It is what it is. Alright, so got that. Gonna put a touch of glue in there. And we're gonna try that again. And I already have to repaint it, so if I get a little bit more on it, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. There we go. So that one is on. Now it wants a small diameter thread to lash at the end here, which actually, I guess you know what, we're gonna use a touch of CA glue to hold it so I can paint it before I lash it, because I don't want to go around paint. I mean thread, sorry. Okay. And then this one will end up going into this hole here and connecting up here. So I'm going to fix my brown paint first before we do that. There we go. That is solid. Well, it was solid. Par for the course for today. We're just having one of those days, so I apologize. Definitely not my normal video, but on the bright side, like I said, I'll have a lot more time to be working on this, and I'm going to be really shooting to have this done by the end of June. 100%, sails up, all rigging on, whole 9 yards, and shooting to start Titanic soon after that. Pretty much all of the parts are here for that, and one of my good friends and I are working on building a full-on RC system for it, because right now you can buy components, but you can't buy a full entire set. So we are trying to make a change in that, and hopefully we'll be offering that in the near future, once we get mine going. So that's a little bit about the future of the channel anyway. I know I do have a lot of subscribers that got on just after some of my Titanic preview videos, so it's coming, I promise. I know it's been a long time waiting, but this project was on the docket first. I've owned this one for a lot longer, and I really just wanted to get it done because it's been sitting in my basement. Plus, I already found the perfect place for it in my living room, and it's going to look awesome there. So, all right. This tan paint, you will go through a ton of it on this ship if you choose this color, but it does seem to be perfectly matched to the pictures, so I'm happy choice. I really would rather not be brushing this also, but I kind of look at it this way, and I said this, I think, in previous videos, that Constitution is wood, so the brushing actually gives it a little bit of texture, which might not be the worst thing for it, so I'm okay with it. I have airbrushed parts of it, but predominantly it actually has been hand brushed at this point. Okay. There we go. Oh, good. I just cleaned the brush and I need it still, but whatever. All right, now we're going to glue our flying jib boom. Or, yeah, I got it right. Flying jib boom. Okay, giddy up. It does look good. I'm pretty happy with it. Once it dries, I think it'll be a real good match to the mast that we did in video 8. Well, 7 and 8. And it looks dead on to the real ship. I will say I've looked at some guys that have built some wooden models of this, and my God, they do come out fantastic. I haven't ever tried a wooden ship yet. Maybe down the road. They do look fun, so might be something to try, just to see if I can do it. And then there's that. And I'm gonna have to touch up some white. Sorry for the crappy angle. I just don't want to knock that off again if I can avoid it. But I can't. All right. That little collar where this is attaching, I'm going to end up painting black. All right, so I'm going to touch that up a minute just because it's still wet there. And then I think I'll let the glue set up a little bit more before I continue to try doing this. Yeah. All right, so we'll be back in a minute or two. I'm going to let that dry up a little bit, and then we'll finish it on up for the jib mast, not jib mast, bowsprit, sorry. Okay, I took a couple days off, kind of got myself regrouped, went to a car show, so anyway, I am back, and I don't know, I'm just going through this whole ankle thing, but I am surviving, so we're putting parts together now, and first up are these water pumps. So I got one in already. I have the bowsprit pretty much done. It's not actually attached yet, but kind of show what that ended up looking like. So It's all lashed down. Everything looks good. I'm happy with it. Still got to touch up that black up here for that bracket, but it looks good. So happy with it. And now we're just working on putting a couple parts on here. And what we're going to do next is the netting. After we get these parts in, anyway, the netting that comes all along here and here. So I got to retouch up the brown a little bit. I got a little bit of glue on there. No major deal, but I want to touch that up before I start putting the parts on, or the fencing on, I mean. So 96, these are, I believe, the, what are they? The cat head, they're called. So putting these together quick. They get some eyelets on them. I am using, for some of this stuff, I am using the kit eyelets because I just want to make sure I have enough of them for some of the other stuff that I'm doing that is kind of add-on. I think I will, but just to be sure. And this is kind of one of those areas that, yes, it'll be seen, but it's not overly visible, kind of like the carronades are. So I think we'll be all right. Just kind of cleaning up the flashing. The flashing on this model, oh my god. That is the one major complaint I have with this kit. Just how bad the flashing is on it. It's really a shame too, because otherwise the kit is a nice kit. And it's really building a nice model, but man, does it take some work to get the flashing fixed. So need 2 of these eyelets. So we're doing them quick. I did have to do a section of the deck over. I don't think I put enough glue down on it when I glued it, so it was kind of lifting up. So I fixed that. Just a little bit of wood glue. No major deal, but pretty sure it could be because of the humidity that I have in the area that I'm working in. I'm working out of my basement, so it tends to get a little bit humid down here. Whoops. Okay. So we got our 2 eyelets in. And I'll end up touch-up painting this just a touch where I was trimming. But once the model is pretty much about done, I pretty much spend a day going back through just doing touch-up paint anyway, so I'm not too worried about it right now. All right, piece number 49 is not on the sprue, it appears, but 90 and 91 are, so we can put them on quick. So that's 91. And 91 goes that way. Okay, got it. Okay, I see. So these are some more eyelets that are actually built into a piece here. And I already did put the railing on, but that's okay because they go under the railing and I can reach it okay, so no big deal. They kind of go right there. And I have a feeling that the eyelet will have the strings that go out, or some of the strings that go out to the bowsprit. Okay. So I just want to make sure I get that on there right. and there. All right, same thing with the other one. Just trim this down. Repoke the hole because seems like the paint might have kind of blocked it up a little bit. Yep. All right. So same thing with this one. Get some glue. And that just sits there. All right. That one actually fit nicer than the first one. Okay, so then we need piece number 46. I'm sorry, 49. And they are brown, so I gotta look on one of the brown sprues for a cleat. Sorry, I'm off camera for a minute. Just looking for this part. I think I found it. Yes, I did. Alright, so I'm going to need 2 of these. 1 for each side. Alright, so I'm going to put this one on, then I'll pause it for a little bit while I do the other side. And when we come back, we're going to start putting the rail on. So I'll touch up paint the top of the railing quick and get any of that glue taken care of and just get a little bit better of a brown coverage on it. And when we get back, we'll start putting the little railing pieces on and doing the mesh fencing. So we just get this on there first, and then I'll pause. Okay. Okay, and that guy actually goes through. Oh, there's a problem. I shouldn't have put the fencing on yet. Luckily I just did it, so it's not real dry yet. That has to go through that. Should have read the directions ahead, but I did not. Okay, no big deal. So I'll re-glue that down in just a minute, but we'll be back here shortly. Okay, so I went ahead and put the put these on because it would really be kind of boring just sitting here watching me do the same thing over and over again. So first thing we're going to do, now that that is on, we're going to tie a piece of rope on the top of the fence type area, and I'm going to hit it with a small amount of glue too, because they do not tend to want to stay real well. And then it basically says to loop it around, so we're just gonna go up each one, looping it as we go. Sorry if my hand is in the way. And I don't want to put too much tension on it. Just kind of enough to get the loop around, but I don't really want to pull it either, because I don't want to distort the the upright of the fence line here. Too much anyway. It being plastic though, that's going to be kind of a challenge. I think I'll go one rung and glue it. Okay, I'm actually not liking how it's looking looped around, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is just gluing it straight on flat. I could probably go with a thinner diameter rope too. That might help. But I thought it should be a little bit thicker, just looking at the pictures. But I'm seeing that that's not really going to be possible. So I'm going to go with the thin diameter rope. It should be okay too once the fencing is actually set on here. So we'll give this a shot and see what this looks like. I remember this part when I was a kid, building it the first time. It was extremely frustrating from what I remember, and I don't know that I ever actually got it right, so I want to try to get it right this time. How the directions call for you to do it is actually 3 strings, which we're not doing because we're putting the netted fencing type stuff on, so the 3 would look a little much, I think. I'm going to try doing the looping with it one more time since I'm using a thinner diameter. We'll see how that looks. But if it looks bad, we're going to pull it back off and just go single one side with glue. Okay, that's actually better. Yeah. Okay, so I'll let that set for a second. I'll put our next piece of glue on there. And we'll loop it around. Okay, yeah. This is working. Sorry about my hand again, if it's in the way. I really need to oil this chair too. It's kind of driving me nuts, so if you hear it, I'm sorry. I might oil it in the next pausing point. Okay, so we're going to just basically continue all the way until we get to this eyelet right up here. And then I'll pause it when I do the other side because the other side will be repetitive. And then we'll put the fencing on. Actually, before I put the fencing on, I'm going to touch up some of my glue spots when I put these uprights on. Okay. Also coming up, we'll probably in this video yet, I'll probably add the anchors on, which are the real metal ones. I was looking at them. They are actually next up on the directions after this section, so it's kind of nice. Don't do that. There we go. Almost there. Okay. It's definitely getting the look it's supposed to have from the picture I just saw, so I'm kind of excited right now because these were worrying me. I have tonight off and tomorrow off, and since I can't really do too much with this cast, I guess I'll have some good model time to build. Like I said a little earlier, I'm hoping with the cast that I can get this done by the end of June here, so we can move on to Titanic, because almost all of the parts are here. Okay, we're just going to let that set for a minute. Then we're going to tie it in on the eyelet. Okay, just want to add a tiny bit over here, because when I redid it, I don't know if I did. Can't remember. And we're going to cut that little bit of extra off. Okay. Alright, let's just do the eyelet, and then I will pause it. I'll do this side off camera after I touch up paint a little bit, and then we will we'll come back and we're going to add the fencing on. I already did do the dyeing on it, so that's what it looks like. I used an automotive fabric dye, so it's still nice and movable. So there's that. But we'll be setting that up here shortly. Come on. Okay, got that tied. Gonna hit it with a tiny touch of glue again. We'll let that sit. I will be back. When I come back, we'll have the other side of this done, and then it'll be time to put the fencing on. But I guess the angle is a little hard to see there, I guess. So there you can kind of see it. So be right back. All right, so I did the first side. You can kind of see it here. We're going to go ahead and do the inner side part quick. I did already cut it. This stuff is a pain to cut, I will say that. Not really overly enjoyable, but it's a necessary evil. So all I'm doing is hitting some CA glue along the uprights, and I'm going pretty liberally with it, but we're not putting it on right away. We're going to kind of let it tack up for a second or two before we start to drop it on, because this stuff is quite flimsy, and I just found that it worked better that way. So if you do this same modification, give it a few seconds before you just drop it on, because at first I tried to do the first upright and then wanted to go on to the second one and kind of go one at a time. It doesn't really like that, so we're not going to do that. So just basically get your glue on there. Like I said, I'm going a little heavy with it, which is okay because that gives it more area to kind of catch on to. Alright, so we'll let that sit for just a few seconds. Hardest part with cutting this is just getting it straight. The good thing is it is kind of stretchy, so not really too big of a deal if it's not 100% perfect, because you won't notice as you are putting it on once you get the first piece to kind of sit on where it needs to sit on. So I'm actually going to start on this side. I was going to start on the other side, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So all I kind of did with the first one was basically start to lay it right across, and as you can see, it wants to come back off. So it's really just about tacking it. Or getting it tacky, I mean, sorry. Concentrating while I'm doing this. Concentrating while I'm talking, I guess that's what I mean to say. Okay, and then I just want to kind of get it so that it's not hanging down. And basically level with that top string line. That's kind of the goal and the mission. And to not let it stick to your finger. Like that. There we go. Okay, I then was using the toothpick a little bit to kind of adjust where it needs to be, because I don't want it too low either. I'd rather have it a little bit high because I can snip it off then, at least with scissors. Low, not so much. That one spot there. Okay, seems to be tacking now. And we're getting to the point that I want it to be. I'm gonna have to cut a little piece right there. But it seems to be pretty solid now. So, finishing it off, we're just going to cut the end here. It's not stuck there on that one. So I'll cut this one a mile. Okay. That one's off. I'll try putting a little bit more glue on it, I guess. Okay, so until that sets up, looking across, it definitely has the look that I'm looking for. So I'm pretty happy with that. I will trim a little bit there along the bottom just so it's not quite what it's doing right now, but I'm pretty happy with it. All in all, it's got the look that I was looking for, and it looks pretty much like the pictures do of the real ship, so that's what I wanted. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. We'll come back, and I think in our next step, we may start some of the outside dead eyes. And no, we're going to do the center railings, because, yeah, they won't be affected by cannon or carronades very much, and up here I'll be able to work without a problem. So, yeah, we'll do the center railing next. So I'm going to go ahead and do the starboard side, exactly what I just did here, over there, and then I'll come back. Be back soon. Alright, so I'm starting the side fences that kind of go next to the lifeboats. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. They go right here, and they are a bit tricky. A lot of flashing on the part, so I had to basically cut it away and do a lot of trimming. And then how I'm gluing it, I basically just put it upside down once I got it connected. And then I ran some CA glue along the top, and I'm using typical model glue just to hold it, and now it seems to be pretty much where I need it to be. So I got to get it painted up. Top would be brown, and the bottoms will be black. So I'm going to get the other one put together quick, and while this is setting up more, and then we will work on installing these. Got to refer back to pictures again, because the directions call for it again to have rope lines on it, which I don't know that it actually does. So I'm not positive until I look if it is also the netting or if it's just the rope lines. So I'm going to check that out and get the other one ready. Probably also will paint it before I come back on to the next portion of the video, and yeah, then we'll get it installed. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I did confirm that these will get nets, so I got the brown painted. While I've been waiting for that to dry, I started working on the foremast, so here we go. This is basically the same exact process as the last two previous videos were, 6 and 7, so no real sense in going back through and showing that. I'll just kind of show them as I'm going. It is slightly shorter than the main mast, not much, but still got to do my brown paint through here, so I'll be working on that as I wait for these to dry once I paint them. So with the paint for these, I'm just using my black, what is it, NATO black, as I've used on a lot of other parts throughout the ship, so nothing too exciting with that. I did glue the first yard arm for the mast as well, so that's drying up right now. But I'll go ahead and get these painted, and then when we come back, we'll get our what do you call it, our netting on, and we'll get them installed, and that will probably be about it on this video. So I just want to get these completed, and like I said, we'll have them included on the video, and then we'll move on to the next one. So I still got, I think, 10 or 11 carronades to go, somewhere in that neighborhood. They just are so time consuming. They take about 2 hours each, roughly. So in order to keep myself sane and keep the build going, I've decided, obviously, just to work on other parts and just try to knock out a carronade a day. That's basically what I'm doing. I haven't done one yet today, but the night is young, so we will see. What else? I think video, I guess it'll be video 9, which will be our next one, will be the dead eyes along the side of the ship. So we'll probably work on putting them together. And aside from that, that will pretty much conclude the haul. So there's still a couple pin rails and stuff like that that'll have to get installed, but they're pretty minor. Won't take much on them. I do think I'm going to drill them out and use metal pins. I actually saw I don't remember if it was a Facebook watcher or or one of the videos that had mentioned doing that because they won't break as easy. So I think we might do that. Still haven't decided, but it makes sense. So I'm leaning towards that, and really it's not going to take that much more time. It's just a little bit of effort and cutting some pins and then painting them brown. So we'll probably end up doing that, but we shall see. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, finish painting this up. When I get back, like I said, we will do the netting on these and get them glued onto the ship and pretty much wrap up this video. So be back in a few. Okay, so these are slightly different than the other netting that we did on the last set. So I already pre-cut my nets. They're all sitting right here. I am using a super glue gel this time, which is just CA glue, but it's a gel form, and that will help it kind of stick quicker, because the other stuff I was waiting for it basically to start setting up before I used it, if you remember back a few minutes ago in the video here. So we're going to try the gel this time and see how that works out, because with the other netting, I know I had issues with it sticking to my fingers. Jeez, I can't talk. And all the other fun stuff that happened with that. But anyway, this is pre-cut. I did it slightly longer. There you can see it. And I'm going to end up trimming it off after it is on here. Yeah. That's working. Okay, so we're going to let that set for a minute. While that's setting up, we're going to go ahead and get ready to glue the next one. Okay, I do like the look that this is getting. It really kind of looks exactly like the pictures of the ship that I'm seeing anyway, so I kind of feel like mission accomplished on that end. All right, so same thing here, just going to drop it on, and then once it dries, like I said, I'll cut it down to the right length and along the bottom there so that it is basically where I want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 of these. I think you pretty much get the idea. Not 3, I'm sorry, the other sides of these. I think you pretty much get the idea. I'll pause it here, and then when we get back, we will glue them down onto the ship and wrap up the video. Alright, I got both of these pretty much done. I like how they look. Pretty good deal, all in all. Got a couple little glue spots on that. I'm going to try to poke them out. It should be okay though. But what we're going to do now is bring the ship back over, and I'm going to use model glue and CA glue for this part because how flimsy these rails are. I don't know that just standard glue is going to work, so I'm going to kind of do my own little thing on that again with the model glue and CA glue. Basically the model glue will do its melting process, and the CA glue will help to get it set up. So I'm just going to put a dab in its mounting locations here, which again I'll end up having to touch up a little bit because I'm getting a little bit of stuff on the green there, but that pretty much happens on every model I build, and then I have to touch it all up anyhow afterwards, so I'm sure you all have had that problem, but easy to fix. Okay, so now we got our model glue on, and I'm going to use the CA on the railing itself. Okay, so these are directional, so it goes that way. All right, so let me get a little bit of my CA on here. Sorry, I'm off camera, I know. Not on purpose. Okay. And just get them into position. All right. And that seems to be holding. All right. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. And that actually looks really good too. Happy with it. All right. CA glue. Okay, I also got the foremast pretty much all painted up, so I'll be able to start that, doing all the blocks and my shrouds and all that good stuff over the next day or so, and then once I get annoyed with that, which I know will happen, it will be time to start filming the next video, which, like I said, is going to be all your dead eyes that go along the side of the ship here. So that'll be something different and new for a little bit. That probably will be time consuming because each one of them has about 10, I don't know if it's 10, probably 7 or 8 of the dead eyes on it, and they definitely take some time to put together. And I'll have to look at it. It might be the right time to just go ahead and build the shrouds going up too. So we'll see. Just let them hang off until my carronades are done. I think that would probably be the best call, just from preliminary ideas here. But we will see. Okay, so there we go. Now we got our sides up, and I think they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. So anyway, that's going to wrap up the video. More to come as we go. It's really starting to look like the Constitution, so I'm excited about that. Yep, gonna start. I got another carronade, so I'm probably gonna do that tonight off camera. I got the full back here to do, and then I got the 6 or 8 that go up front here. So All right, well, everyone, thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so that way you get the notifications when I post new videos. I put a video up last night with some Titanic products and from Mini Brass, and I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow night because my Woody's order came in. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.